Hi everyone, I am Sean Raffles from Group 1 of E12I. And for this video, I, together with my team, will discuss our thoughts and opinions about the film The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind from Netflix. But before we dig in, let's first find out what this film is all about. So, the film is basically all about a boy named William Crumpamba who grew up in a family of farmers. He is a very talented and initiative boy known for fixing his friends' and neighbors' broken radios. As tough as their life can be, he was then unable to continue his study due to the financial issue of his parents. However, due to his determination, he then found a way to continue his studies by sort of blackmailing his science teacher, who is in a secret relationship with her sister, so that he can continuously attend his class and have an access to their school library, where he developed his skills in electrical engineering as well as to energy production. Later on, a drought came to his village, making his family's crop to fail, producing riots towards the government's rationing. A lot then happened in his family and his village, and all seemed to be a disaster. However, with William's eagerness to save his village from the drought, he assembled a plan of building a windmill that produces power and energy enough to power the town's broken water pump. His plan succeeded through a small prototype. However, building a bigger model and making this project successful requires the help of his father through the use of their family bicycle, which is the only one in his town. His father unfortunately debunked this idea and ruined the prototype. In a more unfortunate event, William's dog died from starvation, making him lose hope. But with the help of William's mother, Agnes, she urged the father to reconsider. After burying his dog, William then reconciled with his father. Through the assistance of his friends and the few remaining citizens of the village, they constructed a full-size windmill which leads to a thriving crop being sown. His good initiative lead has reached and prospered around the village. He has then been rewarded a scholarship to attend school, receiving a college degree. And now that I gave you a preview of what this film is all about, let's go to a more thorough discussion by identifying the conflict in the movie and the way it was resolved. Let me now give the floor to Joshua Soreda to tell you more about it.
So the film puts emphasis on various issues that the country Malawi face, and that includes the high school dropout rates, chronic poverty, and famine. So the film undergoes a pivotal moment with William dropping out of high school because of financial issues faced by his family, even struggling to buy basic necessities like food, and his village in Malawi facing an extreme scarcity in food. So the film has three main conflicts rather. Firstly, William, his family, and the village in its entirety fight against nature's effect to continue living with the dryness of the earth. As a landscape of constant famine and drought, the country of Malawi is in an eternal battle with nature, which ignites the passion within William to help his village through the construction of a windmill. Now the second issue is William is denied of an education due to the crippling poverty within society. Despite William's uncommon brightness in a young man, poverty is highlighted when his parents cannot financially support his academic pursuits. William therefore settles or resorts to blackmailing in order to continue his studies. Lastly, William's father initially did not see the potential in his son's plan, which caused him to actively sabotage this project and force William to continue working in the field and walking in the path paved for him instead of continue working on the windmill and pave his own path. However, William refused this. He refused to take down the road that was paved for him and instead continued to pave his own road, his own way, towards bettering life and actively helping his community to progress, develop, and become a better society. Therefore, he built a windmill which ultimately saved his village from disaster.
In the film, which is titled The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, it talks about the story of a kid named William Kamkwamba who was able to help his family and the entire village to survive the drought that affected the farmers to grow their food. William Kamkwamba was able to build a windmill that generates a water pump which has enough electricity to irrigate the crops, which led in saving his family and the entire village from hunger. Not only the film was able to highlight the spectacular creation of William Kamkwamba, but was also able to highlight the problems that the country Malawi faced, such as in the film where it was able to show issues such as not all students were given equal opportunities to education, since some of the students' parents cannot afford the school's tuition, which led to them dropping out of school. Another is the main problem of Malawi, which is the food crisis they faced, which leads to poverty and famine in their country. These issues are all relevant to the UN Sustainable Goals, the very problem that the UN plans to solve by 2030. As we can see in the film, while the country is experiencing a food crisis, the government did not have enough food to help the entire village, which led to poverty in their country. In these times of crisis, the UN have to step up to help these small countries, since some small countries like Malawi have a government that can't help their own people. One of the goals that the UN hopes to achieve is to end poverty in all its forms everywhere, and ensure quality education to promote lifelong opportunities for all. If they plan to achieve this goal, they should start helping small countries like Malawi that have unstable and corrupt government that does not have the resources or leaderships that can help solve their problems. And hopefully, through this film, the UN will be able to be alarmed to take actions to help small countries who experiences these types of problems that can affect their goal of having a sustainable living for all.
So to answer question number 3, how do you relate the theme of this story, the contemporary setting of the Philippines? First, we must of course watch the film, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. The main protagonist is a very smart person. He is very innovative and he wants to help his hometown. Though there are problems with lack of supplies, he still tries his best to succeed. In the modern time, I can see in him that there are many people, specifically in the Philippines, there are many Filipinos who strives to help, even though life in the Philippines today is not yet easy. And some Filipinos are striving to make things better, and that's just wonderful because they are helping Filipinos to move one step closer to a future where life could be easier, much better. And that's it.
The story is relatable to what is happening in our country today. William's family experienced hard life as a farmer, and William's parents cannot pay his tuition fees in school. Crops also fail due to drought, and many people abandon their villages. Many Filipinos are experiencing this as well. Many Filipino farmers are experiencing a crisis just like in the story. Farmers here in the Philippines earn so little, they have a hard time just providing for their family. It is also relatable to poverty in the Philippines. Many children do not have access to education due to financial problems. Some rural places in the Philippines do not have access to education as well. There are many children that are forced to work at a young age. Because of this, there are many Filipino families experiencing starvation as well.
The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind talks about social issues revolving around William's life and community. The film showcased several issues that are targeted by the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN SDG, or the United Nations Sustainable Development Group, such as extreme poverty, hunger, and lack of education. The film also features Williams, who is someone with an entrepreneurial mind that sparked an idea to help his local community to obtain a sustainable income, which is by harassing the wind by creating or building a windmill. As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. However, what do poor people with no education have if that's the case? This question prompts an urgent solution because nowadays, education seems more like a privilege rather than a right, especially in areas where extreme poverty is present. Just like what William did, the UN SDG can create more sustainable options and solutions in order to address the social problems of poverty, famine, and lack of education. The UN SDG should look more into what resources in that particular community can be utilized so that community becomes an income generating place. Aside from the income that will enter from tourism or economic gain, a project that will open the gates for the locals to earn more will also be an indirect solution to the problems of poverty.
And that's it. Thank you for watching our film review, and I hope you were able to learn something about it. See you again in our next videos. Bye!